Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. We're going to get into it. We have things that I want to talk to you about today, particularly about the DA, the prosecutor for Donald Trump's case in Dalton. I'm saying Dalton. Fulton County. I can't hardly hear. It's real muffled when I have my earphones on. But anyway, we're going to talk about DA Fani Willis. She got caught with her pants down, figuratively. Okay, we can't say literally, but figuratively, she got caught with her pants down. They are accusing her of having this inappropriate relationship with her assistant prosecuting attorney that's helping her prosecute the 19 people, including Trump, on this, I guess, trying to steal the election in Georgia. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to get into some sadistic stuff that happened in New York. And it's with the Jewish community. So we'll get into that today, all on another episode of Business Talks. You guys put in the chat, let me know where you're viewing from, and we are going to get into it. Something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Okay, hopefully you could hear me and see me. So DA Fani Willis. DA Fani Willis is there's some allegations surface of alleged improper intimate relationship between her and a leading prosecuting attorney in the Georgia case involving the Trump election, and it just surfaced yesterday. Okay, this scandal surfaced yesterday, and Michael Roman, was an official of Trump campaign back in 2020. He's one of the 18 or 19 people that's being prosecuted by DA Fani Willis. Okay, so let me just pull up Michael Roman's face so you could know who I'm talking about. But so in his complaint, he's alleging that DA Fani Willis, she can't be, using her better judgment because she's having an affair. He's going through a divorce now, but at the time he was working on a case, or when they was building a case, Michael Roman, the guy on the screen, he claims that she was doing the do, having an entanglement with the married man. And these allegations, I don't know if this has I don't know if they're going to throw the case out just because Fani Willis decided to, spread her wings and say, I guess, do with the guy she hired. And I don't know if it had anything, her affair had anything to do with her hiring him. But, one could only speculate that. Okay. But the biggest problem is, when they were building this case. Now, this is not a coincidence. When they was building this case, the guy that she had an alleged affair with, let me just pull his face up. Alleged affair with, let me see if I can find him. this guy, Nathan Wade, he was having meetings at the White House back in November when they was building their case against Donald Trump at the White House. And how do we know he was working on Fani Willis' case? Because he was sending her bills for this White House bill, and he called it an interview. He billed her $2,000 to meet at the White House back in 2022. It was two bills. It was one that was posted in October, I believe. I think they got it down here. Yeah. One that was in March and one in October. Let me share this tab with you so you could see what I'm talking about. So no, I'm sorry, one in November. One in November, and he sent this bill. He's calling it an interview, DC White House interview. Really. And then another White House interview. Travel to Athens, conference with White House counsel. And he billed the DA $2,000. So they're saying, hey, number one, you coordinated with the White House to prosecute Trump, which is his political opponent, a primary political opponent. And then you're having this alleged affair with this guy. Now, when did the affair begin? We don't know. Okay, so let me just read some of this stuff to you. Okay, so the Atlanta Journal-Constitution was the first to announce the motion, which claims that Willis and Wade went on many expensive vacations together last year. Particularly noteworthy is the assertion that these vacations coincide with Wade's alleged receipts of $654,000 in attorney's costs, funds sanctioned by Willis' office for his involvement in Trump election meddling investigation. The document goes on to say that Willis and Wade had an affair prior to Wade being named special prosecutor. And it asserts that the couple secretly maintained their connection throughout the lawsuit, which might compromise the fairness of the court procedures. Do you guys agree with that? That will it compromise the fairness of the court procedures? Or it would just, they have an affair. I don't know what way you should go on this. I think sometimes some of Trump people be like far reaching, but I believe if anything, it doesn't really have to do with Trump's case, but if anything, it had something with like the ethics committee, of course, because this is unethical. You number one, you're sleeping with a married man, and then number two, you're sleeping with the people that you're hiring. That could complicate things. Okay. And then you're trying to, this is a big case. You're trying to take one down. This is the biggest, probably one of the biggest court cases that anyone has had. You're trying to take a ex-president down, a U.S. president down. So, the monetary advantages that Willis supposedly gained from the connections were weighed at the heart of the charges. They are concerned regarding the appropriateness of such financial arrangements due to Wade receiving a considerable amount of that, so $654,000 is a lot in legal fees. This is what Fox 2 News had to say about it. I mean, they're on this story like a dog with a bone. They're on this story, and who could blame them? Because this
Fulton County.
This is Jesse Waters, but this is a big story. and you're saying that, hey, he's doing bad, and look at your type of judgment that you're using for your own life, even though it should remain private, but it's not, because you are in the courtroom with the guy that you're sleeping with, and he was married. Anyway, you guys put it in the chat. Let me know what you think. So this is Jesse Waters on Fox 2.
Fox News alert, a sex scandal is rocking President Trump's case in Georgia. The Fulton County, Georgia District Attorney, Fani Willis, has been accused of appointing her lover as a special prosecutor in the case against Donald Trump. DA Fani Willis is responsible for taking Trump's mugshot, also allegedly financially benefited from hiring her lover, Nathan Wade, on that Trump case. This is according to a motion that was just filed by Wade, the co-defendant. Now, who is this romantic partner who Fani Willis hired? He was just a private attorney who's never even tried a felony case. Even the Times says he has, quote, limited experience trying high-profile cases. But get this, Fani's alleged lover has been paid nearly $1 million in legal fees already. Who authorized the payments? Oh, that would be Fani. Where'd she get the money? Oh, that's your money. Came from the taxpayers. They've allegedly gone on luxury vacations to Napa Valley, even taking Caribbean cruises. And Fani isn't even denying that she's hired a guy she's sleeping with to prosecute Trump. Now, the judge jumper.
So I know it cut off, but that was just a snippet of what it is. So yeah, so she is doing the do with her alleged lover, and he has limited experience in prosecuting people. Okay, so she just hooked them up. Why does this sound all familiar? Because we've been covering Dalton, and your girl Tiffany Henyard, she got a lover, and she was praising him for stepping in and being a daddy, and he was married, and she was giving him a big salary, and he had no experience of working with children. I think that's what he was over the community center or whatever, but no experience at all. Okay. I'm trying to unlock this article, what they're saying in the Daily Beast. This is what they're saying in the Daily Beast. So, Michael Roman did file the actual court document, and it's like 100-page document. Okay. Some of the news are reporting that they really don't have any hard factual evidence, like allegedly they went to Napa Valley, but they can't find, or they don't have, or they didn't present any flight receipts or any receipts. So someone in Fani Willis' camp will have to expose that, maybe her assistant or something like that. That's the only way we'll be able to get that. Okay, and it says in the claim, the filing also claims Willis and Wade were engaged in a remote romantic relationship prior to the special prosecuting attorney, and have been engaged in improper, I wouldn't say Clydesdale, a personal relationship during the pendency of the case. The filing adds that the duo had been profiting significantly from Trump's prosecutions at expense of taxpayers. I wouldn't say the prosecuting, because DA Fani Willis, she has a set salary. Now Wade, of course, she's funneling money through Wade. So someone put in the chat, someone said it, okay. Inappropriate, insubordinate, unprofessional childish. I don't know what childish means, but it can't get her disbarred, and she might resign. She might resign. Roman's attorney Ashley Merchant wrote this motion is not filed lightly, nor it's being filed without considerable forethought, research, or investigation. So she's saying she did her research. Both indictments contains structural errors and irreparable defects and should be dismissed in their entirety. So that's where they're going at. Michael Roman attorney saying they should dismiss this case because of this inappropriate relationship and of the lack of judgment of Fani Willis. The filing, which includes screenshots of some purchases allegedly made by Wade, alleges that the prosecutors are still actively in a relationship. The bombshell allegations are cited to sources close to both the special prosecutors and the district attorney. The motion added that the payments sent from Wade from Fulton County, which were followed by alleged vacations with Willis. Okay, that's what happens. I'm a contractor or whatever. I bill you. You pay me, and then I spend it on things because that's what happens when you get paid. You spend it on things. But they're saying, hey, you're spending it on things with your girlfriend or your lover, and this money comes from the public. Well, I'm just being devil's advocate. Okay, one, it is an inappropriate relationship, but what happens when you hire somebody from the government? The government, and I do government contracting, and they can't tell me what I could spend my money on. Well, let me backtrack. They can't tell me what I could spend my money on. It only could be on myself. It can't be I'm trying to decrease a bid on another bid. Now I can't, rig a bid like that. So it can't be that. But can you tell me where to go and where I should spend my money on? No. But like I said, Fani Willis, bad judgment on her part, and she probably will be fired for this. Because why in the hell would you put your hands in the cookie jar and you working at the place that the cookie jar is at? That doesn't even make no sense. You shouldn't have any type of inappropriate relationship where you work at. What is it called? Don't shit where you eat. That's what it's called? What is the saying? Somebody put that in there. Don't shit where you eat or something like that. I think that's the old saying. The motion added that the payments sent from Wade from Fulton County, which were followed by alleged vacations with Willis, could amount to honest service fraud, a federal crime in a place to prevent elected officials from receiving kickbacks from someone they hired. Now that's a good one. Service fraud, because you are benefiting from these alleged vacations, Fani. You're benefiting. You hired this man. Because you were having alleged affair and entanglement, and this guy decided to splurge on this lavish vacation or vacations and was buying you gifts with the $624,000 that you have given him. Okay, so that would be a kickback. Okay, then this is a good one. Pallavi Bailey, a Willis spokesperson, told the Journal Constitution that the DA's office will respond to Roman's allegations through appropriate court filings. Wade and Willis did not personally address the allegations, which emerged publicly late Monday afternoon, just hours after Trump attorneys filed a motion of their own to have his charges thrown out on presidential immunity grounds. Trump posted a link of a news article about the bombshell motion on Truth Social. Has everybody seen the revelations just announced in the great state of Georgia that the Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, who criminally indicted your favorite president, me? Trump is crazy. Many other innocent people, patriots, hired exorbitantly paid romantic partner to prosecute the 45th president of the United States and then financially benefited from their relationship. I don't care what no one says, and I was, playing the devil's advocate earlier. When you have a case like this and you know it's important and people think of you, oh, Fani, she's the savior. Remember that article? They had Fani Willis, they had Alvin Bragg, and what's the Alex, whatever, and then that other Judge Chunkin. They were all the saviors of the United States because they all were prosecuting Donald Trump. These are the saviors, and you got this floozy doing the dirty flamingo in the office of the court. And she effed it up. She dropped the ball. So your savior is not your savior. She's a human being too. She's a human being. And she turning it up. Now, remember back at maybe about a year ago, Trump claimed that she was sleeping with one of the boys or the guys that, that she charged with a RICO charge, these gang members. I forget, the Young Thug. I think his name was Young Thug. He put that out there on social media saying she was having an affair with him. And I thought to myself, I never talked about it on this show, but I was thinking to myself, like, come on now. She is not gonna, she just got elected. She's not gonna drop the bag like that. But apparently, because she literally just got elected, she's been in the office for about 2 to 3 years. She's dropping the bag. If this is true, she's dropping the bag. And she's letting the American people, the people that really hate Trump, she is letting them down. In other words, he was paid a fortune, then took beautiful Fani on expensive, but all paid for by Georgia, vacations to faraway lands. This is what Trump wrote. This is what Trump wrote on his post. Oh boy. Another co-defendant in Georgia trial, Rudy Giuliani, said McAfee on Monday to let his lawyers interview 4 co-defendants, Georgia bail bondsman Scott Hall and lawyers Kenneth Cheeseborough, Sidney Powell, and General Illis, who already struck the plea deals with prosecutors. The accusations against the district attorney will likely provide even more fodder for the former president, who has taken his 2024 campaign to the courthouse steps throughout his legal travails. Trump has already gone at the Fani Willis in deeply personal terms, accusing her and having an affair with the gang member. Yeah, you guys, I was just saying that. They say there's a young woman a young racist in Atlanta. This is Trump. She's a racist, and they say, I guess they say, that she was after a certain gang and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or gang member. The former president and his campaign provided no evidence to back up the claim beyond attributing the rumor to they say. And this is the person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems. She got a lot of problems. She does. She has a lot of problems, and they're going to come after her. And they're going to want her head on the chopping block. They're going to want her head on the chopping block. There's nothing that she could do about it. Now, News Nation, which is really interesting. News Nation posted something 21 hours ago saying that this has nothing to do with the case. They could still prosecute. They're not going to throw out the case because this has nothing to do with, what's the guy's name? With Michael Roman's case. And all the other, I think it's like 16 of them left or 15 of them left. Okay, so has nothing to do with it. And this is what and nobody's really talking about it. Not no mainstream media. Nobody's talking about it. They're probably afraid to touch it. I think they're afraid to touch it because they thought they had a savior, and now their savior ended up being tainted.
Strike me as a basis to dismiss this indictment.
This allegation by one of the defendants in Georgia, who has alleged that the DA, Fani Willis, has been having a clandestine personal relationship with a special prosecutor in the case, and in turn, they say, profiting significantly from this prosecution. My question is, how big a deal is this, even if it's true? Thanks for coming back. What's your response?
Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. These are certainly very salacious allegations. It is the legal motion equivalent of clickbait. You read it and you just think, oh my goodness, this is terrible. But when you read it again and you read it a little further, you realize that most of the information in the motion about the relationship comes from the divorce filings in and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name, the special prosecutor's divorce proceedings. Yeah. And
listen, she's saying that it comes from the divorce proceedings, but he just filed a divorce. He just filed for a divorce like maybe 8 months ago. So what are you talking about?
So you have to take that with a grain of salt, because does anyone really want to be presented with the picture that their ex-spouse paints of them in divorce proceedings? So just like you and Chris discussed in the handoff, that sometimes that you need more answers, you have a lot of questions, that you should be skeptical. I urge you to be skeptical of these particular proceedings. She will respond. She has 30 days to respond to this, and then we'll hear her version of these events.
But let me ask you this, even if it's true, right? How relevant is it? I mean, it may be relevant in terms of, I don't know, her getting in trouble, et cetera, but it doesn't, he's seeking to have his charges dismissed as a result of it. I don't see exactly how that could happen.
And I'm with you on that, Dan. We've already heard from Judge McAfee on the whole failure to file the oath of office, that isn't a problem, that Judge McAfee considered that in the fall and said that that's just really a non-issue. In terms of whether or not this would be dismissed, That's just not going to happen. The question for a conflict of interest is, does she have a private interest in this prosecution? And she is serving the public good. You know, she has evidence. This has been a lengthy investigation. The allegations about the special prosecutor, Mr. Wade, occurred with respect to the special purpose grand jury. But the actual grand jury is the one that indicted these defendants. So it just doesn't strike me as a basis to dismiss this indictment.
Yeah. It's going to be ugly, though, if it's true. I mean, if there's any truth to this, it's going to be ugly. It's definitely going to undermine her credibility. You'd agree with that, I think.
Yeah, and this is an ugly motion, but this is also a prosecutor who has been attacked repeatedly by members of Congress.
I think she's just, I think she's being biased on her opinion. Yes, she's been constantly attacked, but every DA or prosecuting attorney, especially if you prosecuting a political person, they're going to be attacked. So, I mean, that comes with the territory. I think she's being biased because she's a woman. She's not looking at the bigger picture. And she's being like, oh, really nonchalant about Fani Willis actions. Because you're the district attorney. And this guy was married allegedly at the time before he started dealing with you. That's some character judgment. And they shouldn't, if they let that slide, that means, once again, we're letting this person slide on her affairs. If this was a man and he was having an affair while he was prosecuting somebody, they will want his head. But is it okay for a woman to do it? What's the guy's name over the Boston Celtics? And Malika Andrews was defending the woman. Okay, he's the head of the Celtics. He was the coach, and he got demoted or fired. He was married, but the rules doesn't just apply to him. The rule applied to everybody because this is your office. You know, this is workplace, whatever. So you have workplace decorum or whatever rules or whatever. And Malika Andrews was saying, like, you know, it's not the woman's fault. Well, these are both grown people. They make grown decisions. You know, they decided to deal with each other and have this affair, even though I forget what the guy's name is. That the coach that was married to you guys know who I'm talking about. Married to the actress. Anyway, the Boston Celtics coach. He decided he had an oath with his wife, but he decided to have the affair. But he worked for the Boston Celtics. So both of those guys, they enter into a relationship with each other. You both broke the rules. So she's trying to act like, you know, it's no big deal, but I think it is a big deal. Number one, you doing a do with the guy that you paying money to. Does that make any sense? That doesn't even make any sense. And she's ignoring that part of it. Oh, I'm going to give you money. Well, we're going to deal with each other, and I'm going to give you money, and you're going to spend it on me. That doesn't even make any sense. So you're trying to act like it's not a big deal, and it is. So, like I said, she's being totally biased on how she's judging this whole thing. And is it because she's a woman?
Or by the Georgia's own GOP. And there have been responses that she has given to all of them. And given that, I think we all need to adopt a wait and see approach before we rush to judgment. But yeah, it's an ugly motion, and it's going to be an ugly battle, Dan.
Yep. Look, we have to wait. I've been critical of Fani Willis in the past. I don't know, though, about this. I don't know what the ramifications. That's why we had Amy Lee Copeland on. Amy Lee Copeland, I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to wait and see what happens. Thank you very much for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your cable provider.
You're correct. I just highlighted this post, Dwayne Manziel. What does this say about elected Black woman? Fani, Tiff, Letitia, and Kim. Who is Kim? Kim Worth, not Kim Worthy. Kim Worthy is in Detroit. She's horrible too. But you're talking about Kim in Chicago, I believe. Letitia, she's trying to act like, oh, we're gonna. Now, did you guys hear about? I'll talk about that after I get done with this. But Fani and Tiff, yeah, these all of these, they're supposed to be the star of Prosecuting and mayors, the super mayor. Letitia, she's gonna stick it to the white man, the rich white man, and I guess give the money to the poor. You're asking Donald Trump for $273 million. What are you planning to do with that? You asking Donald Trump for $273 million for somebody that wasn't a victim. So what are you planning to do with that money? You just want to say, oh, I stuck it to him. Or, Donald Trump is real savvy. All he's going to do is file for bankruptcy. So she tried to take away his businesses, but that didn't hold up in court. She tried to put it in a conservatorship. That didn't hold up because she's a nut job. Anyway, and then you got Kim. And I believe you're talking about Kim in Chicago, the DA, if I'm not mistaken. Kim Foxx. Yeah. And she don't do, but Kim Foxx, she's not running for re-election, so she's not going to prosecute anybody. Okay, so we might as well just forget about her. She's null and void. She's not running for re-election. Anyway, Fani Willis, I would like to see somebody hold her accountable and stop saying, hey, she was. This is going to be the next narrative. And I'm telling you, and I told you with Claudine Gay, when Claudine Gay resigned, you guys go back to my live stream when I first talked about her resigning. I told everybody they're going to say this was racist. They forced her out. And what did they say? Oh, this is racist. They forced her out. Not because she was not, being anti-Semitic. She wasn't, she was using plagiarism or plagiarizing on people's papers. Not because of that. No, they're saying, oh, because white supremacy. I had a post and I responded to the post on LinkedIn. This guy was like, oh, I'm so tired of white supremacists and this thing with Claudine Gay and this is just racist. Like, no, you can't say, that they're racist. They hired her. If they didn't like it, they wouldn't have hired her. And if they really didn't like her, they would have fired her ass. She still wouldn't have a job. She still have a professor job. She's still tenured at Harvard University, making $900,000 a year. So they can't be that racist. Come on now. So yeah, and like I said, if you go back to that video, I was saying that they're going to say that this is some type of racist thing that they're going to claim. Now with Fani Willis, how much you want to bet? Fani Willis is going to be the victim in this whole scandal, and they're going to play that guy that she's funneling money to. Wade is a womanizer. He took advantage of her. That's what's going to happen. That's the narrative that they're going to push. You guys, at mark 44 minutes in this live stream, Wade is the womanizer. Fani Willis is the victim. That's the next story we're going to hear about this. Fani Willis is not going to lose her job. She won't resign. because women are the victim. We're the victim here. And we're not going to hold her accountable, which is sad. And she's going to still go on to try to prosecute Donald Trump and his 19 co-defenders. And they're going to brush it under the rug. They're going to act like, oh, it's no big deal. Like that lady said, oh, it's no big deal. And it's just all fluff. If you read it about 3 times, it's fluff. Anyway. Greg said all the cases against Trump are biased. Millions of illegals is pouring into the country, but they are focused on Trump. That's what they're going to do. They want to focus on Trump because they're afraid Trump is going to win because he's winning in the polls, Big boots. Now they want 370 million. Yeah, Letitia James changed her settlement amount or whatever she's trying to get from Donald Trump. Now you want 370 million. Like, are you crazy in the head? Number one, the claims is baseless. Number two, you're going to up on the money after they dropped several charges. So where are you getting your figures from? Anyway. Greg said they will only elect Hispanic politicians then. Yeah. And there is no mediocrity any longer, only DEI. Well, you don't need mediocrity if you have DEI. Because DEI is just saying, I need to feel about it. You don't need to go get hired based off your merits. Now, with this Wade guy, he has no experience. So how in the hell are you paying him over $500,000 to prosecute somebody? And he has no experience in prosecute. No experience whatsoever. Only thing he has experience is probably in the bedroom. And you getting down dirty with him. One thing I wanted to laugh about, because on this Atlanta post, let me just see if I can find it.
Explosive allegations tonight from one of former President Donald Trump's co-defendants.
Okay, yeah, this is it. I'll let this play, but some of the comments in here is hilarious.
And it's right here in Georgia.
He has some pretty bold claims about Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Atlanta News First anchor Tori Cooper has been digging through that court filing. So, Tori, what are they actually claiming here?
Well, tonight, former Trump campaign staffer Michael Roman and his attorney Ashley Merchant are claiming District Attorney Fani Willis had an inappropriate and romantic relationship with the top prosecutor in the case, Nathan Wade. In this new court filing obtained by Atlanta News First, Michael Roman and his attorneys are accusing the Fulton County DA Fani Willis and Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade of having an inappropriate and romantic relationship, and that the two benefited from it. The suit claims Willis and Wade took lavish vacations together and that he used part of his salary from the DA's office to travel with Willis. Roman's attorney claims they discovered that the two went on trips together, quote, outside of court filings. The suit goes on to claim their relationship began before Wade was appointed to the case. They claim Willis also failed to get county approval to appoint Wade as special prosecutor in the case. Roman's attorneys are now asking the court to disqualify both of them from prosecuting the RICO case and to drop all of Roman's charges. Roman's attorneys wouldn't comment any further tonight, and Fani Willis's office told us they will be responding to Roman's suit through proper court filings.
Okay, So look at these comments. It says, when you have someone who did not sign an oath to office to defend the Constitution, that is a problem. So they're saying that, oh, that's just an oversight. Okay, what? That's like the first day one of your job when you sign the oath of the Constitution. I don't understand that. What an honest and decent person. That's what they said. What an honest and decent person. All these clowns need to be in prison. No questions asked. If know the roles of these traitors, then why do they still have a voice in any type of politics, let alone judgments? Somebody said, I can't wait to see the Rock solid evidence. Everyone gets a slice of humble pie in the public eye. I saw something about taking the forbidden fruit or some. That's some Atlanta stuff. It says, man, talk about a Hail Mary. Anyway. Somebody put in the words of Willie Nelson, ain't nobody got time for this bullshit. One thing I don't understand, or no, these people should be ashamed of themselves if they can't win against this guy. He's leading, it seems like he's leading their team, and he has no prosecuting experience. So how are they winning? They're getting plea deals and all this stuff. So what kind of attorneys do Trump people have? I don't understand that. Devil at work, shame on them. Anyway. So this is leading me to actually, it has nothing to do with the other story that I'm about to share with you. Somebody put on my Twitter 30 minutes ago, he's not even divorced yet. He's romancing a sugar mama while his wife is probably taking care of their children. I wish her well. Yeah, he just filed for divorce. He just filed for divorce, and he's not divorced yet. And if anything, she should step down. She should step down. She should resign, because this is, a very inappropriate relationship. It's actually sad. Don Lemon is getting a show on Twitter. Remember Donna Lemon that was fired from CNN? He's actually getting a show on Twitter. It says, we're delighted to announce a new content partnership with Don Lemon for his new project, The Don Lemon Show. The award-winning TV journalist will share his unique and honest voice in 30-minute episodes 3 times a week, covering politics, culture, sports, and entertainment. Dude is a douche, but it's good to see X honoring free speech. Some people are saying Don Lemon fan, but not Don Lemon fan, but bravo. I I can't stand this guy, but what's the point of free speech if someone you don't like can't say something you don't like? Bravo X. See, this is what it's supposed to be. You know, free speech. People should, I don't like what you're saying, but you're allowed to say it. I can't stop you. This your given right. You know, the other party, they would say, no, he shouldn't be allowed. That person shouldn't be allowed to have free speech. A lot of people said I can't stand them, but free speech is welcome on X. Very good. Anyway, so Donna Lemon got his own show. Donna Lemon is coming on X. And let me see if I can find that other crazy. So they found some tunnels. Shabag, I think it's called Shabag. Okay, you guys, this is wild. The Shabbat synagogue in Brooklyn were designed for child sex trafficking. This is allegedly. This footage that we're about to see shows that the Jewish synagogue had dystopian tunnels made with stained mattresses that had been sent for forensic analysis. Items such as baby high chairs and clothing have been taken by forensics. A group of extremist students were blamed for children abduction tunnels and attempt to bury the tunnels with cement before forensic could begin their investigation. Advocates for child sex abuse says Israel has become a refuge for pedophiles, and many Jewish Americans hide from justice in Israel. This is what they're claiming. This is the footage that we're seeing. This is a tunnel, okay? A tunnel that leads from the synagogue and leads to, it connects somewhere else. How they found out is because they were doing some work in some other area and laying down some plumbing or whatever and some pipes for the sewer system, and they came across this tunnel because it's not small. And you see how they have this, I guess they were trying to fill it up before anybody came, but they didn't. Now, years ago, one of the rabbis was claiming that another rabbi was doing this sadistic things. It says the survivor of alleged abuse of a 36-year-old woman living in Israel is trying to get a possession of her abuser brass menorah, normally displayed on 770 Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. It says in August the 27, 1991 ruling that the JTA review said the Picard, or I don't know how to pronounce that, admitted to one unspecified offense, but not the other. The defendant admitted that he did things that are not to be done. On the other hand, he did not admit the heart of it, of the deception that he was accused for. So they wanted him to undergo treatment. That's the court of the rabbis. And the father of the victim wasn't satisfied with the court ruling. So a lot of times that I guess they hold their own court within their community. So this is the Chabad headquarters right here, and this is the Children's Museum. There was a man that was seen exiting on the tunnel, so I'm assuming they were probably still trying to steal kids from right here and taking them down into the tunnels to take them to this Chabad headquarters. Because the tunnel, it goes from this spot right here all the way to here. And these are the police. You see this panel? This panel was a faux panel, and somebody tore it down to expose it.
Not gonna help. They tried to. It could. The problem is both sides have to work. They don't.
I guess the guys are already in.
Not gonna help. They tried to. It could. The problem is both sides have to work.
So I mean, that to me is kind of crazy. That's real crazy. This is like really extreme. Then where am I at? Where's my other Xbox? This is what they were talking about, the stained mattress, baby stuff that was in there, the strollers. Strollers that were in these tunnels. And they was trying to fill it up, I guess, before somebody caught wind. This was filed on November the 3rd. It says once the alleged molestation started, plaintiff felt trapped. He had no way of stopping the abuse. Further, Charitonov made it clear that the plaintiff disclosed the sexual molestation. He would retaliate and shame him publicly. Additionally, I guess this Charitonov was physically imposing. When plaintiff showed reluctance, Charitonov used his physical strength to dominate plaintiff. He would arm wrestle with the plaintiff and demonstrate his strength. This caused plaintiff to fear Charitonov. This was filed Kings County Clerk. I guess that's in New York somewhere. And they were saying that the plaintiff took to 394 Kingston Avenue, Brooklyn, where it was open all night with no security. It gets very graphic. I'm not going to read that. That's disgusting. Putting the pieces together, one of the workers at 770 investigated got shocked of his life when he discovered the tunnels burrowed from the mikvah on the corner of Union Street in Kingston. Tunnel allegedly extended from mikvah under Kingston Avenue, women's section of 770, where they exited into the building. So they was trying to access the females too. They just all over the place. All over the place. Oh, and this guy got caught coming out the tunnel. And then he tried to run. Let me see if I can find that post. What's his name? What is that guy's name? It says, here's what's actually going on in 77. It's not shameful to own the fact that our community has dysfunction. That's very normal. These kids need help, and we aren't raising kids that could end up like this. Chabad are humans helping humans with issues of our own. As well, we created this mess and we're going to fix it. You sound stupid.
The one that's all around the world, helping Jewish people connect to their roots. And there is the Chabad community from which it comes from. In other words, the center of Chabad is Crown Heights. In Crown Heights, there is thousands, tens of thousands of families who live there as a regular religious Orthodox Jewish community would. They do not, they're not part of the greater Chabad organization. That being said, let's talk about the actual shul 770, which is the Chabad World Headquarters, why was there so much chaos there today? So about 30 years ago, there was a plan by the leader, the head of Chabad, to expand the building, expand 770 the way it is, because it is too small. You can fit about a few thousand people in it, and I guess they wanted to be able to fit a lot more. The point is, that expansion never happened. Thing is, 6 years later, the Rebbe passed away, and the problem was, who gets the building? Who gets 770? Who gets the headquarters of Chabad? And that's when the organization Chabad took the community of Chabad to, when I say community, I mean people who represent the synagogue, to court over. And till this day, they're still in court. So until they decide who owns the building, they obviously can't do expansion. So knowing this, the Bacharim, which means the students who study in 770, is mainly used as a yeshiva, where Bacharim, about 19, 20 years old, study all day in it. And they decided they were going to be zealots, and they're going to take this on themselves. The place needs to be expanded, so they're going to expand themselves. So they went to that area, right under the women's show, and they realized it was completely filled out with dirt, and all they need to do is they shawshanked it. They went from back streets, and they went in, and they, in their, literally in their clothes, they filled it out with dirt, and day after day, they emptied it, until eventually they actually hired contractors to do this properly, and they emptied out this entire place, which caused a tunnel. I'm hoping that all they need to do is knock down the wall, and then you have the expansion, and then both the community and the organization will be like, okay, since you have that area, let's pay people to properly fill it in, and done. The expansion is done. When the community and the organization heard about this, they both freaked out, and the community came along and said, we're filling it up with cement. Now, if they did fill it up with cement, that would be the end of any possibility of a expansion anytime soon. And therefore the Bacham were protesting like you would by a tree. You know, they stood there, so we're not moving, you can't put it in there. And that is the story. It's extremely embarrassing, as most of Chabad is looking at this and saying, oh no. But as one thing I think it's important to recognize is everyone has dysfunction. I don't think it's a problem to admit to it. Yeah.
So hopefully you guys heard that, but he's basically saying they was trying to expand the building and it had nothing to do with sex trafficking. They were trying to expand the building by building tunnels and doing it themselves. You're trying to expand. Wouldn't you just build something on top? You trying to go under. But you got the sewer system, you got power lines, you got all kinds of stuff that you could run into. So why would you try to dig a tunnel? Anyway, I don't believe them. Somebody put damage control and shifting blame. Yeah, I mean, this sounds real ludicrous. What is that guy's name that always be in my Twitter feed? What is the guy's name? Dom Lucra. That's what his name is, Dom Lucra. He had a video of this is crazy. Dom Lucre put up here in 2009, FBI arrested mayors, politicians, 17 rabbis in New Jersey for money laundering, trafficking human organs and baby body parts in the United States. How sick is that? This is the tunnels that's being sealed because that's the guy, one of the guys was coming out of there. I just want to find that picture or the video. Oh, this is the fool. Like, we see your face. Look, he coming out the hole and running. We see your face.
Not gonna help. They tried to. He could. Problem is, both sides have to work.
Well, who was crying? I don't know who was crying, but yeah. So that was interesting. And I tried to find some reports about it. They're saying that they've arrested 9 people in regards to the tunnel. They're saying it's a group of extremist students. Secretly broken the walls of the vacant building behind the headquarters, creating an underground passage beneath the row of the office buildings and the lecture halls that eventually connected to the synagogue. The tunnel had been previously discovered, and it was believed that the vandals went rogue and tried to expand the synagogue. When the cement truck was brought in to fill the tunnel, the men are accused of standing in the tunnel and refusing to leave and causing mayhem. It says the video shot by witness showed police confronting a young man standing within the hollowed out space inside the brick wall. After officers removed one of the men from the dusty crevices, the group of onlookers can be seen shoving officers, tossing wooden desks, and scattering prayer books. One officer appeared to deploy irritating spray and jeering at the jeering group. And it says the nine men that were arrested was between the ages of 19 and 21. They were charged for criminal mischief. So that's what they're saying, what happened. So I guess the guys, we don't know. We don't know. Will we ever find out one? We don't know. We don't know. So anyway, you guys, that's it. That's a satanic synagogue. All Satan worshipers, the Haitians in the area known. When I was a teenager, I waited for the bus to go to work. A Jewish man was at the same bus stop. A Jewish man driving just to stop his car and picked him up. He did not know him. He just saw the hats. Okay. Anyway, you guys, that's all I'm going to talk about today. That's enough. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you for joining us. I will see you tomorrow. I'll probably go on live around maybe 2:00 tomorrow. It's going to be early. Okay. So I am sending all my good to you, and you guys have a good evening.